Hi everyone, it is now the 17th of June 2019. Welcome to From the Crow's Nest. I'm your host, Paul. Nice to see you again. Look, I've had a haircut since last time. Now I look like Uncle Fester. Welcome. Happy Monday. Hope your week is started off fantastically. It was my daughter's first birthday on Sunday, so that was a lot of fun. She had her first taste of cake, which, was interesting. She had a massive boost of sugar and went a bit crazy for a little bit, but all in all, went pretty well. Oh, I just noticed a bit of hair sort of sticking out the side there. Look at that. So today I'm going to be talking a little bit about my dreams, and specifically kind of a set of recurring dreams, I guess they are, of a place called, it's called the land called Savage, and some of you may have seen or heard me speak about this before. I'll give you some context and some background. Back in April, was it April? Was it before then? Hang on, let me have a look. No, it was before April. It was back in January, back 21st of January. I had a very, very strange dream, and I'll recount it to you. I posted this on Twitter, so those of you who haven't seen it. There goes our friend the train, trundling by. One day that train will be gone, and I will miss it terribly. So let me just pull this up a little bit. Sort of going a bit wonky. Get this in a good position here. Okay. This was my post from the 21st of January. I had the strangest dream last night. I dreamt that I came across a creature in the woods. It had brown, leathery skin. It was all skin and bone. It was huddled in leaves. When I spoke to it, it said, "I come from the land called Savage. Take me back, and I will leave you in peace." I took my jumper and wrapped it up. I asked it how we'd get there. He pointed his gnarled finger towards the woods, and we walked. The next thing I knew, we were in the centre of it. It stank of death, and it was a murky, dark place. And as we stood there, it sunk its teeth into my arm. I felt nothing. I could see the blood pouring down as it ripped my flesh, leaving exposed arm. I threw the creature against the tree, where it grabbed on and looked at me, smiling and laughing. I asked about our agreement, and it laughed some more. "I come from the land called Savage," he said, cackling at me. He was almost drunk. "And agreements with the likes of you are meaningless. You have nowhere to go now. My brothers and sisters can smell your flesh." And I told them how sweet it is. "They'll be here soon." And with that I realized the woods had grown dark, and 100 red eyes blinked at me from the trees. Like crickets, or the chattering of their teeth. It was almost like a song. I grabbed my jumper and wrapped my arm and tried to run, but I couldn't. And then I awoke. These are the creatures and monsters of the night. These are the creatures of Savage. I don't wish to meet them again. They are stuck in my head and burned into my memory. And the chattering of their teeth. Imagine 100,000 of those just chattering. The gnashing of these chattering teeth. It was terrifying. And that was it. That was my one encounter with the land called Savage. But I was somewhat obsessed. I still am. It's a place that draws me. Whether it's a direct reflection of my own insecurities or who I am. I don't know. So we fast forward to April, where I once again had a dream about a land called Savage. This is what I said. Last night I had a dream, one where I was transported back to the portal between this world and the land called Savage. Last time I dreamt of this place, I didn't know where it was, but now I do. The portal is near the town of Franchville, which is now called Newtown. I awoke in the woods, and it seemed like a tunnel of branches, dark and cold. The sky above me was black. Something was stopping the lights of the stars, and it wasn't cloud cover. As I walked through the trees, I remembered where I was. I felt my arm ache where the creature I had encountered last time had bit me. I was afraid, and I knew I should turn and run, but I also knew this was a dream. However, I also knew that it was real, and I was behind the veil in the other island, the place beyond, the place where the Witwara is now. It became colder and darker, and all around me was silent except for the chatter that was coming from the portal up ahead. I turned around and placed some pebbles on the ground to anchor myself so I wouldn't get lost, and I listened off into the distance. The faint sound of my breathing was there, and I knew that I was asleep. And I listened carefully, and I heard the rhythmic sound of my wife, and I knew that she too was safe beside me. I needed to remember that. I turned back and walked towards the chatter coming from the portal. The creatures from the land called Savage were stirring, and they were calling me. The pain in my arm was now burning. I looked down, and it was red raw. I realized I had been scratching it to ribbons, and blood started to trickle down my skin. By now the chatter had filled my head like crickets on a hot summer night. Each chatter a voice taunting me, telling me to run away, and then telling me to come closer, telling me that I am weak, and then saying they need my strength. My mind conflicted and my heart pounding. I turned back towards the anchor, but before I could, a long, bony hand grabbed my face and turned it towards it. Its face now so close to mine that I could smell its putrid breath. The foul miasma coming from its mouth, so thick, thicker than normal air, and it made me gag, its eyes black and empty. "Ask me what I am," it demanded. I shook and refused. "Ask me what I am, or I will follow the anchor to your home, and you don't want that," it threatened. I stammered, "What are you?" Gagging and coughing. "I am the Reaver, and my allies are behind you," he replied, its voice oily and hoarse, its face expressionless. I imagined it was smiling. It held my face tight and demanded, "Ask me what I want." I complied this time without any hesitation. "It is midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. We cannot leave this place yet. It won't be long, and we will find a way. And when we do, we will come," was its only reply. I said nothing, and he shook in terror. It knew it had me, and it continued. "When we get to the Garden of Good and Evil, no one will be safe. None of the charms, the cunning, nor the magics will stop us. Just remember the Reavers come first, and then the throngs, like you have never seen." It laughed at me with wheezing, grating sound that threw me to the ground. With that, I awoke. Amy sleeping soundly beside me. My children asleep in their beds. I lay there sweating. The putrid smell still in my nose and the stark pain in my arm. I feared my adventure, the land called Savage, is just beginning. I still feel that. I still feel like this adventure is just starting. Sorry about that, just moving that. The Reavers sort of terrify me, really. The raiders, these creatures that seem to be becoming different to the creature I first met. Tall and dark and foreboding, with rags for clothes. Now, why am I discussing this here? Because last night I dreamt about a land called Savage again. I've talked about the portal, where I think the portal is, and a few months back I went for a walk and kind of feel like I found it. And I want to go back. Last night I dreamt about the land called Savage. And it became clear to me that they're caught. So it seems that there is our world, which they call the land of good, the garden of good and evil. There is the other place beyond the veil, but they seem to be in another place. A portal takes you there from the other place. You can't get there directly, and they can't get here. It's like the other place where the Witwara lives and still exists is like a buffer that is keeping them from us. And in my dream, filled with haze and confusion, I sat and looked and listened, and they spoke to me and they chatted to me, but nothing coherent, only parts and shared visions and ideas with me. And it feels like it's a world that needs exploring, but it also scares me to try and even think about exploring this world. Because what happens when you explore a place like this, filled with nothing but danger and disgust and anger and no redemption? Do we share our good with that place, or does their evil just share with us? Are we opening the floodgates, as the Reaver told me? Am I dancing with something I shouldn't be dancing with? You tell me. I want to hear your feedback. I'd like to know what you have to say. And I hope you have a wonderful week. I hope you enjoyed this recounting of dreams, or maybe nightmares, you tell me. I look forward to speaking with you for the rest of the week. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Thank you very much for joining me once again. Bye-bye.